including a variety of sandwiches, salads, pasta, and homemade soups. Featuring weekly events such as bingo, karaoke, and live music. Fired Up Pizza also has space for your private event and offers both in-house and off-site catering services. Open daily at 11:30 a.m. for lunch and dinner. For more information, visit their Facebook page or contact Fired Up Pizza at 509-936-9121. Fired Up Pizza is a proud supporter of public radio in Stevens County.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewelah Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at ChewelahFlooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at ChewelahFlooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
KCHW headlines. I'm Chuck Ritchie. The Supreme Court is letting the Trump ban on trans people in the military continue while a lower court takes a closer look. It pauses a decision made by a Washington state court that had blocked the ban. An Olympia veteran says the decision will hurt readiness. Catherine Goldston is a retired Army Sergeant First Class who says more than half of trans service members are senior non-commissioned officers, meaning they have between 12 and 20 years of service. Washington has joined a coalition of states suing the Trump administration over deep cuts and layoffs at Health and Human Services, which they say have torn the department apart. They argue that billions of dollars of cuts and the loss of 20,000 employees have left the massive federal department unable to do its job. And a new Washington law requires clergy to report child abuse or neglect, but the feds are investigating, and it says it steps on the First Amendment. That's because it doesn't have religious exemptions, especially for Catholic priests and confession. Spokane's bishop says he's ready to face jail time to protect confession confidentiality. In our last story, Washington has slid again in a ranking of best states, but we're still in the top 10, just barely. We ranked 10th in this year's U.S. News and World Report's list of best states, down from 8th last year and 2nd in 2023. According to this survey, the best state to live in is Utah, followed by New Hampshire. And for you neighbors over there in Idaho, you came in 3rd. For KCHW 102.7, I'm Chuck Ritchie. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the KCHW Morning Show. We are here with myself, Chuck Ritchie, and we have joining us today the lovely Paula Randall on a Thursday. Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
Oh, I don't know how you did it, Chuck. I'm up again early in the morning. I must be really like the radio or something.
Or you're a glutton for punishment.
Or I'm a glutton for punishment.
I think it's a combination of the two.
I think so.
You're willing to punish yourself for the good of the radio.
Exactly. In the community, right? I'm here for the community.
As I do every day at 7 a.m.
You're so good.
It's interesting. I had a conversation with my kids the other day. I've never been a morning person.
Yeah.
Never. I've always actively despised mornings. And did the 1 day a week with Scott for many years, and then it became 2 days, and then now here we are.
Yeah.
And I was talking with my kids the other day about not being a morning person, and my kid looked at me like, "Dad,
you're up.
You get up every morning at 6 a.m. and you go to bed earlier than us. You're a morning person." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." And he's like, "Yeah, Dad, sorry to break it to you. You're a morning person now."
I don't like it, though. I don't like it.
And to the point where I don't really mind waking up in the mornings. And I find myself waking up early on the weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find so I don't really like getting up early in the morning, but I like the feeling of accomplishment when I've gotten up early in the morning and it's like noon. And when I was in the band and we had the parade, I used to love the fact that you get up like at 5 and you go do the parade and you do all this stuff. And at 10 o'clock, you have all this stuff that you've accomplished.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, whoa, that's so cool, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. But I mean, the getting up early part that's the hard part when you're all warm and snuggle in bed. And
I like on the weekends getting up early and then having the house to myself.
yeah.
Enjoying my coffee, poking at my
Yes.
phone,
Just relaxing, no demands.
sitting with the
Yes.
dogs, my throne of dogs on the couch with me. Yeah. All right, everybody, we're going to
Exactly.
go ahead and get into this show. It is morning. We've established that.
Yep.
Yep. Let's go ahead and take a look at the weather. Do you want to take us through the weather?
Sure.
Are you there
I can.
yet?
I'm here. I've got
Okay,
it
perfect,
refreshed and
perfect.
everything. I don't think we're streaming though.
Are we not streaming? We are not streaming on Facebook.
See,
Dang
I'm
it.
so good. All right. So going in for the weather today. Today is Thursday, May 8th. Still can't believe we're already at May 8th. We're going to have a high today of 70 degrees with partly cloudy skies and a low of 41. Tomorrow, Friday the 9th, we're going to have a high of 77 degrees and a low of 50 with additional partly cloudy skies. Saturday, a high of 77 with a low of 48. Cloudy, no chance of precipitation, it says. Sunday, a high of 64 and a low of 44. Cloudy and a 21% chance of rain. Monday, we cool things down a lot with a high of 58 and a low of 43. Showers with a 51% chance of rain. Tuesday, we start warming up a little bit with a high of 63 and a low of 43. More showers with 38% chance of rain. On Wednesday, we start warming up again at 68 degrees as a high and 42 as a low, with mostly cloudy skies, 15% chance of rain. Thursday, the 15th, we have a high of 68, a low of 43 with partly cloudy skies. Friday, we have a high of 67, a low of 45, mostly cloudy, and a 24% chance of rain. And then for that weekend, 2 weeks ahead, we have a high of 70, a low of 43, partly cloudy skies, 24% chance of rain. And Sunday, the 18th, we have a high of 70, a low of 44, partly cloudy skies, and just a 14% chance of rain.
It looks like we're going to get some rain
Looks
next
like
week,
we're
though.
going to get some
I
rain,
think
and it's
that's-
going to cool off.
Yeah. Yeah, starting this Sunday. But yeah, Monday, 58 degrees. That's getting back down into
Yes.
to month ago temperatures.
Yeah, but look at those lows. Those lows are not dropping below 40.
No.
So I'm excited. I'm going to plant. I got 9 million marigolds. I am determined to defeat the mosquitoes with marigold power.
Yes.
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 It's going to happen.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it? I know they're bad.
They are
they're bad. I mean, they're bad every year. Every year we say this,
I know, but they're so bad.
but it doesn't. It still makes it true every year.
Yes.
They're still bad.
Yes.
They're bad.
I was walking to a neighbor's house and I'm enjoying the beautiful day. I'm enjoying the trees that have their leaves out. The lilacs are blooming in town. They're so beautiful. I'm walking and I walked into what is a mob of mosquitoes? I have to look that up now. What is it called when you walk into a bunch of mosquitoes?
I like a mob.
Right? It feels like a mob.
because they do attack you.
Yes.
A gang of
Ooh,
mosquitoes.
a gang of mosquitoes?
That
sounds
sounds good.
Yeah.
A violent mafia of mosquitoes.
A mafia of mosquitoes. I like that.
And
What
it's
is-
alliterative too. A mosquito mafia.
Yeah.
See, I like that.
I like that.
that.
When you walk.
All right. So while you look that up, because I'm actually interested in this too, I'm going to take us through the lunch and breakfast menu really quick, if you're okay with that.
I don't know. It's my habit.
if
It's called a swarm.
A swarm.
Oh, or a scourge.
Ooh,
I
a
like the
scourge.
scourge.
A
Scourge
scourge.
of mosquitoes.
Yeah, I like that.
All right,
'Cause
go for it.
They're definitely a scourge.
Yeah, they are.
All right. So today on our breakfast menu, we have the option of French toast sticks with syrup, fruit or juice, fruit breakfast parfait with granola, or fruit or juice, a variety of cereal with a cheese stick or yogurt, or a bread or muffin, again with that cheese stick or yogurt, and some fruit or juice. Of course, a variety of milk is offered with all of those. And we're going to go ahead and go on to our lunch menu. Today we have broccoli rice. Cheesy broccoli rice is one of my favorite things in the world. You know that? Throw
That's pretty good.
Throw some chicken in there. Do like a crunchy cracker topping on the top.
Really?
You got yourself a casserole.
Oh, that's
Oh,
true.
you don't do that? Oh, it's really good.
No, I like doing stir fry. When I think broccoli rice, I think stir fry, and the wok with a little bit of teriyaki.
Oh,
little bit of chicken,
that's good too.
add a couple of vegetables. Yeah.
I think like grandma's casserole, with cheese and broccoli
Oh
and
yeah,
rice
yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah.
and some chicken. You mix like the crack like the Ritz and the cheese on top and
Yeah.
you bake it until it's nice and crispy.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
good
both
stuff.
sound. Now I'm getting hungry.
All right, that's one of my favorites.
We should go to the school for those French toast sticks.
And it's the only way I can get my kids to eat broccoli.
Oh wow.
Although there's not a lot of broccoli in it.
Oh,
yeah.
you know what's a great way to eat broccoli?
What's that?
Tempura.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Love doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, and the big sweet potato, and you get the wonderful vegetables, and it doesn't matter what it is, they're fried, and you just want to dip everything in that soy sauce.
My favorite way to eat broccoli
Mm-hmm.
with my hands. Yeah. Love broccoli.
Right?
All right, so that also I did. Oh, there was a next line. That is a broccoli rice casserole. I just read broccoli rice with a breadstick and fruit or veggies.
Oh, they get a breadstick. Oh, come on. Maybe they can have 2 breadsticks.
Maybe I can't edit it to add an S on the end of
I
there.
know,
If I
right?
add the S, it's true, right?
You need more than one breadstick. Oh my goodness.
Right?
You know what? I'm also thinking about the best way to eat broccoli is fresh, straight from the garden, which makes me think about the farmer's market. We had
Yeah.
Ryan here yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was so cool. He had so much to say and so much exciting updated news.
Oh my goodness, yeah. It's
I'm like so excited.
one of the things I love Nina and Joe and their Thai food. It's still going to be one of my almost every week go-tos.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about burrito tacos
Yeah.
because that's my favorite Mexican food is burrito, and it's amazing.
And see, I've never had that.
Yeah, you got to.
See, I'm like, I have no idea. I had to ask you guys yesterday, what is that? So I'm super excited
What's
to try
really-
those out.
It's really great when the cheese is nice and you get like because they like we said yesterday they dip it in the sauce, like they actually dredge the tortilla in the sauce, and then when they fry it, because there's a lot of sugar content in the sauce,
Right?
so it gets this like crispy,
crystallized.
crystally, and then it's all cheesy and gooey, and then you dip that in the sauce and you take a bite and it crunches, and then you get that cheese running out.
Oh my gosh.
It's amazing.
Do
Yeah.
they have like a cheese sauce you can dip it in?
No, they dip it in the burrito
In the
sauce.
burrito sauce,
So
okay.
the meat slow cooks in the sauce.
Oh wow.
And then they take that sauce, you get a bowl of it that you dip it in. The
Okay.
Oh, so good. So
Oh, I'm
good, so
excited. That sounds really amazing.
good. It is good.
And I'm excited
is
about
good.
the fresh vegetables, even though I am
Mhm.
determined this year to grow something in my own garden.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's just exposed dirt. And
Well,
it's
you're
a
a step ahead of me.
great place for cats to visit.
Yep.
But I got more marigold seeds. I'm going to start them in the house, and then I'm going to plant them everywhere. I'm going to keep out cats, mosquitoes, right? And then
Good,
I need a
good.
marlin house because I hear marlins are really good for eating mosquitoes.
Marlins, like the
The
birds?
yeah.
Aren't marlins huge? No, I'm thinking
No.
of the fish.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the fish.
No.
Sorry.
All of a sudden, I had this vision of a pterodactyl in my head. I'm
Right?
like, no.
I'm like, those things are like 100 pounds, right?
Oh my
No, That's a
gosh.
fish.
Yeah. But they have to have a specific habitat. So you have to have their house up on a pole,
Mhm.
and it's got to be so high, and the opening has to be so big, and the little stand has to be at just the right. Very specific. So I know my neighbors have them. I see them at my neighbor's house, but I want to put 5 up at my house because I feel like the mosquitoes are everywhere.
Yeah.
And then you can call the local bird people whose name I can't remember, but they're in what is that thick periodical we get for free in the mail? The bird watching guy is in there. He does an article every month.
Okay.
And
Oh, I was gonna say my my Uline catalog with all the cool packaging and
No,
envelopes and boxes.
no, it's
Yeah.
local, and I can't remember the name of it. K.S. Brooks writes in it.
Oh, the Silverado.
Silverado,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, so there's a bird guy in there, and he says you can have somebody from the local bird association come out and assess your house for the best place to put a bat house.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And attracting bats is really, really nice,
is that
especially
free?
for mosquitoes.
Is that a free service they'll do, or do you have to?
I actually don't know. He said that they would do it. I didn't ask about if there was a cost.
Because I have a bat house in
Mm-hmm.
my shed that I've never put up, and I was gonna say I saw my first bats of the season yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I actually it was over as we were leaving the city hall meeting. I saw there were a couple bats flying overhead.
That's the only place I've ever seen bats in Chewelah is over by the main park and in that area over there.
Mhm.
So yeah, very cool. I'm always like, where are the bats?
We first moved here. We had a ton of bats.
I
that
wonder
we-
what happened.
Well, two things. We found out our neighbor's roof was leaking, and he had to have his roof replaced. a whole bunch of bats were living in his attic.
Oh, so it's your neighbor's fault.
No, I'm good with the bats. I'm okay with the bats. I love the bats. But then we had a couple of trees across the street from us that had to come down, and they had bats living in those trees. But I think the biggest thing was one year we had like 3 or 4 neighbors on 4th of July that all got together and let off a bunch of fireworks, and all the bats were all flying around, smacking into things. They got really confused.
No.
And after that, I never saw a bat again for the rest of the season. And the next year, they never came back. And then a couple years later, I started to see, occasionally them come back.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think last year we saw quite a few, but I'm hoping to see them back again this year. But
I haven't. And see, I looked for them, especially when I saw so many mosquitoes here last year, and didn't see one. Again, I only see them at the park. When we were at the park last year for rehearsal, I would see them in the evenings come out.
yeah,
But yeah. Well, so see, bat house, marlin houses, tons of aromatic plants like rosemary and thyme and oregano and marigolds and lilacs. All the lilacs are in bloom.
oh, we've got a ton of lilacs.
I
Our whole
love
property on both sides is lined with lilacs.
Oh, I love it. I'm so excited.
We have lilac fences basically.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
They do get a little unruly though. You have to cut them back every couple of years.
I'm supposed to cut mine back. I haven't yet because I just love them. I just love them. I'm like, yay, lilacs. So yes, loving that. And then what else is happening right now? We have, I have not seen rosemary grow here.
No,
Have you seen rosemary grow on anybody's property?
I don't know if I paid attention to that. I do my lavender did not come back this year.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's all just dead and sticks.
That's not good.
No, I wonder what's going
Maybe
on with my
it's
lavender.
too early.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Usually it starts to come out about not flower, but
Right? Because like the lupin are up.
yeah.
People's dahlias, some of the dahlias are up. I know that there are a couple people at the flower farms, their flowers are up. I'm not sure if they're greenhouse growing or,
Yeah.
but
I know my tulips are already almost gone now. They're already starting to shrivel up and
Yep,
fall
starting
away.
to fall back. Yeah, time for the next phase. So excited. I looked at my roses. My roses look like they're gonna come up, and super excited. So yeah.
My peonies are getting very
Yes.
bushy.
Yes.
Yep. So,
Yay.
so yeah, let me back up there, right? I'm sorry. I was just so engrossed in the flower conversation, I forget what we're supposed to be doing here.
I know. Me too.
No, I was going to ask. You said something about your the flowers keeping away the cats. Are there flowers that keep away the cats out of your garden?
Well, somebody told me mothballs, and I can't do mothballs because of dogs, right? I don't
Right,
want to
yeah.
hurt any wild animals. Somebody said vinegar will keep the cats out of the stuff, and then really, really strong smelling things that kind of look like or smell like cat spray in a weird way.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm thinking if I saturate everything with marigolds, because I'm not sure how long the vinegar smell will last. Like, do I need to go out like every week or, every day? Do I need to go put vinegar around my garden? I need a fence is what I need.
Vinegar is good for killing weeds.
Yeah, but there's a couple.
It'll
so
kill
my,
everything else too.
My raspberries are right there.
Yeah.
And I have beautiful lupin that are totally against the back fence. I don't want to kill my lupin.
If you spray it with vinegar, it'll kill it.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yep. It is a good natural weed control, though, but you got to get the industrial strength vinegar.
We have it, yeah.
Okay, I need some of that.
Yeah.
Think about spraying my whole garden with it, because the vinegar you can spray it, and then shortly after you can still plant again, as opposed to like pesticides that sometimes or herbicides that'll last the season and are dangerous. So,
Right, it doesn't over acidify the soil.
All right, so let's get back on with the regular show here.
Mm-hmm.
That's been planting hour with Paula.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we only have one birthday on our calendar today, and that is Hunter. I hope I'm saying this right. Buke, B-E-U-K.
Okay.
Buke, C-K rather. I'm calling him Buke. Well, happy birthday, Hunter. I
Happy
think Paula
birthday,
has
Hunter.
a song for you.
I do. Ready?
Okay, ready.
Happy birthday. Happy day.
Happy
Happy birthday. Yay.
Yay! All
We
right.
got you covered.
So I'm a little slow today. I think I'm having like a full-on allergy attack.
It's
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this morning I let my dogs in, and again, one of my dogs came in covered in light green powder, and I
Yeah.
tried wiping it off, and I got a snoot full of it, and I just had like a sneezing attack
Yeah.
for like 10 minutes. I couldn't stop sneezing,
Oh, I believe it.
and my eyes got all watery, and now everything is just like my head's going wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were over at the new health center yesterday, and we were talking to the doctor because Xander's had this congestion that just won't stop.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about the allergies and the pollen. And he's like, yeah, we've had a lot of people in here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's a serious thing this year. If you are sensitive at all, find your best allergy medication and be on top of that.
Oh, yeah. Darn you flowers and your reproductive spores.
I know, right?
Right? Oh, man. All right. So, yeah, we did the birthday. Let's go ahead and get into our event calendar. We got lots of stuff going on this weekend, I know.
Right?
Let's see. Let's start things off with, I was on the wrong week.
Yeah, it's the 8th.
Yeah, the diaper distribution.
Yeah.
That is at the St. Rosary Parish Hall at 502 East Main Avenue. I don't have the information right here in front of me, but I know they have a variety of different sizes, and they have pull-ups for the older toddlers. You can go ahead and go there and check it out and see what you can get. And I believe, again, that's not here in this information. Is it twice a month they do that, or once a month?
Well, oops. Sorry, I just accidentally clicked on something.
I think it's once a month. I think
It's once a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The third Thursday of the month.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So then we move along.
That would be
here.
the second Thursday of the month.
Oh, the
'cause
second
This
Thursday.
is the second Thursday.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
All right. So the Chula Food Bank open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We have Craig Meyer Karaoke is going to be at the Oasis Tavern from 8:30 to 11:30. And then backing up a little bit, the Tech Help is at the Chihuahua Library. I believe that is, where is it here? From 3 to 4 p.m.
Mhm.
Then we move on to Friday morning. The Chihuahua Chamber of Commerce is at the Casino Cafe from 7 to 8 a.m. Get up early. Listen to us on the way in.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, no, they start before we start our show.
They
so
do, but you can, if you're running late, you can listen to us on your way
That's
over.
right. Keep
Yeah.
your radio on so when you get back in the car, heck,
Yeah.
you can leave that meeting early just to come back and listen to us.
Right? Because
Yeah.
we're good. And actually on Fridays, there's a good chance you're going to hear some great music.
Yeah, there is.
I mean, we've had some amazing people here.
And it just we time that for after 8 o'clock so
See?
people can listen after
Yes.
they get out of the chamber meeting.
Exactly. It's all for you guys.
Right, exactly. And then adult pickleball Friday at the golf course.
It's at the golf course. Yep.
That's at 243 Parr Place. That is from 8:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Yep.
Don't believe your calendar. They're starting a half an hour early
They're
this
starting
year.
earlier. I need to change that.
Yep. And then, of course, what do we have starting at 11?
Farmers market, farmers market, farmers market. Yay, yay, yay. I'm super excited. Did you hear 52 vendors?
That's incredible.
I'm so excited. Yes. And they committed really excited about the microgreens lady.
Mhm.
Really excited to see my friend, the jewelry silverware lady. Really excited to see the new people that I haven't met yet.
Right?
Right? I'm super excited. And the fact last year we were stymied because we never have cash on us. And so we would go to all these vendors and, a lot of them, I don't blame them, don't want to pay that credit card fee. And so they wouldn't have it. And we'd be like, oh, we can't get food or we can't do whatever. So I am probably going to be one of Brian's best customers. I'm going to be like, load me up.
Exactly. Yeah,
Right?
they've got a bunch of the food vendors back. It's going to be
Yes.
awesome. Donuts. It's been a
Donuts, the
long time
sour-
since
oh.
I've had the sourdough donuts.
I bet that line is going to be long. We better
I
get
bet it
there
is.
early. Okay,
The
you
Thai
set up
food,
you set up the booth
barbecue.
and I'll go get the donuts.
Yeah. She's going to be back with the you said Brazilian or something, and now I have that in my head.
So it's a Belize. Yeah.
Belizean.
Think Joe. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Country Corner is
Yeah.
Country Corner. Am I saying that right? I don't know if I ever get it right, but I believe it's Priscilla. Is it Tiffany or Priscilla?
I'm going to look it up. I have
Yeah.
the website open.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Plan Q Barbecue is going to be back. All the different vendors, Sade and Silver.
Yep.
I'm just listing people that I go to a lot.
Right?
But first and foremost, most importantly, KCHW Radio is going to be there.
Yes.
You can visit a live radio manager in captivity.
He's going to be trapped in the booth while I
right.
go to the donut corner.
It's going to be fun, though. It's going to be a beautiful day for it.
Yes.
We're going to be there setting up. Lots of stuff happening, lots of vendors. It's going to be an exciting day.
It's going to
Yeah,
be,
fun
and it's going to
stuff.
be, the perfect kind of cool, not too hot, not too cool. It's going to be nice, to walk around and see what everybody is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because our weather on Friday, high of 77, low of 50, but partly cloudy. So you're going to be nice and cool at 11 o'clock. It's not going to be really, really hot.
Yeah.
And even when it reaches its apex, 77 is a nice day.
It's over there in the corner in the shade.
In the shade
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the trees and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, it's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be nice.
Bring your bug spray.
Come on by. Come on by, have some lunch.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so looks like bingo at the Chihuahua Senior Center. We're not 100% sure if that's actually still happening or not, but we're going to say it because it's on the calendar.
Yep.
That's from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Chihuahua Senior Center. And then it is opening of the Church Basement Ladies.
Yeah. Now, don't you know? The Church Basement Ladies is open at night on Friday night. It's so exciting at 7 p.m. over at the Chihuahua Center of the Arts.
Oh, it's going to be a good one, don't you know?
Oh, it's going to be so good. Lots of wonderful music. The Church Basement Ladies is a musical comedy that takes you to the heart of a small-town church kitchen in Minnesota. In 1965, where 4 dedicated women navigate the challenges of feeding their congregation and managing their personal lives, all while keeping their faith and humor intact.
You betcha.
You betcha. So
Yeah.
tickets are available at Valley and Valley Drug and Acres Drug. They're also available online, and you can get tickets at the door.
There you go.
And I apparently will be there on Friday serving alcohol. Surprise.
That is a surprise to me. Wow.
I'm the one person who never drinks actually serving alcohol. I don't know, but I have my certificate. I took the test.
Have you ever drank?
I mean, you know.
You don't have to tell us on the air.
Yeah, but and there's no reason for it. I didn't have any traumatic experiences.
Yeah.
The idea of like wine, I take a sip and I immediately get flushed, so
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
a pleasant experience.
Right.
And beer, I'm like, "Ugh, it doesn't taste good. I don't like it. So yeah, so kind of interesting. But yeah, okay.
And no, absolutely nothing wrong with not drinking.
Right. And
Yeah.
so just to go back to Church Basement Ladies, the performance dates are, of course, on Friday and Saturday at 7 p.m. this weekend and next weekend. And then they do have 2 matinees on Sunday the 11th and Sunday the 18th at 2 p.m.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a good one. Oh, sorry. I was going over checking comments here. I lost track of where we were. Yeah. So then Saturday.
Saturday, we have a couple things going on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put you first because,
Thank
you
you.
know,
Thank
you're
you,
my
thank you.
friend and I support you.
And I'm just now realizing it's not on the calendar.
Wasn't going to say anything, Chuck.
I put it last week and I forgot to put it this week.
Oh my goodness. So we are the auditions for Chihuahua's Got Talent.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like we're going to have a full docket of auditions on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But if you still want to come and audition, come and just fill out the form and Chuck will squeeze you in somewhere.
We'll squeeze you. We still have a few
Yeah.
openings within there too. But we've got quite a few people auditioning on Saturday. It's going to be a good one.
know. I'm excited. You're going to have to video it and send it to me because I can't be there on Saturday, but I'm
going
super,
to.
super excited.
Yeah, we'll video them all and let you judge them because you've got your
Yeah.
own auditions going on.
Yes. Shakespeare
Oh,
the Tempest.
Really quick though,
Yeah.
if you still want to audition, you can visit
For Chihuahua's Got Talent.
Yeah, you can visit our KCHW radio Facebook page. We
Mm-hmm.
still have links up there to go online and fill out your audition form online. Or we have some in a plastic envelope on the front door of the radio station, or also in the online version and on our website at kchw.org. There are downloadable, printable forms. If you'd rather do
Yes.
it that way, you can fill those out. You can snap a picture and email them to stationmanager@kchw.org, or you can drop them off in the black box by the front door. And I do check that obsessively 4 or 5 times a day,
Oh, good.
even though there's never anything in it.
It could happen, and you don't want to miss anybody.
Because at one time there's something in there.
Right?
You know,
And
it's
that
like,
person will be like,
"Ooh."
I really wanted to audition, man. You never called me.
And then I find
Yeah.
something in there, and I'm like, they love me. They
See?
really love me. Yeah.
So,
All right, go ahead.
acting, Shakespeare's The Tempest. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my gosh, you guys remember the magic last year of Midsummer Night's Dream in the Green? It was amazing. So this year
It
we're
was.
recreating the magic again. We're doing the show The Tempest. And if you're not familiar with this show, it's obviously there's a storm involved at the very beginning of the show. There's love, there's deception, there's redemption, there's forgiveness, there's magic. It's just going to be amazing. I'm super, super excited. You don't have to have any acting experience at all. You can have lots of acting experience. You don't have to have lines or an audition material prepared. I find that people tend to choose the longest quotes from Shakespeare, and they come in and they want to do that. And I'm like, no, stop. I don't want 5 minutes for everybody to do this audition. So I will have lines for you to
Yeah.
read. And what's also really, really cool is I am setting The Tempest in modern era, just like I set Midsummer Night's Dream is in the modern era, and it's off the coast of Seattle.
Yeah.
And so we don't have to wear period clothes. We're not going to be speaking with any weird accents.
You
So
can
if
drink
you're-
your coffee right on
You
stage.
can drink your coffee on stage, although you are supposed to be
know.
stranded on an island, so you'll have an empty cup going, I wish I was in Seattle with my coffee.
Well, they always say,
Yeah.
what's one thing you would bring with you on a stranded island?
Right, your
Coffee.
coffee. Yeah.
Coffee.
Yeah. So it's going to be super, super exciting. We have had great people come out on Monday and Tuesday, but the last day for auditions is actually Saturday at the Center for the Arts from 11 to 1.
Mhm.
If you cannot make those audition dates, like if you can't come on Saturday, message me and let me know. You can send me an email at pmrandall, Randall 22 at gmail.com, or you can email Chuck and Chuck will get you to me and just say, hey, I can't make the audition. Can I do something else? Because I
Yeah.
will set you up. I'll meet you somewhere. You can do a video audition. I'll send you a script for you to read in video and send back to me.
We'll hook you up.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
get you taken care
Yeah.
of. But there's lots of parts. You can be older. You can be a younger person. I do need you to be at least like 14, 15. But yeah, come on out, audition for The Tempest.
I do want to make a correction on a falsehood you said.
What did I say?
You said you're going to recreate the magic. You're going to make new magic.
I'm going to make new magic.
You're going to make new magic.
Yeah, actually,
pick up.
there's a couple of things that that are in the works, and I can't wait. I just need confirmation before I can share them with everybody. One of the cool things, the theater is building an exterior
Yes.
stage, a stage in the back in that green. So we will be on a stage, and we're going to do our best to make sure that everybody can see everything that's happening this year, so that we're not, we're on a different level.
And,
We'll
and
be
is
a
that
little
stage
higher.
back there going to be set up just for this play, or is it going to be permanent?
So the one that we're doing this year will be temporary as we discover where the best place to place a stage is.
Yeah.
And then they are building a permanent exterior stage back there on the green with full lights, sound, and support. So it's going to be amazing.
That's incredible.
Next year. Yeah.
That is incredible. Wow.
Yeah. And so this year they're moving the fence line so that we have more room for people to sit. So that's super exciting. We're going to test out the stage size. We think we want it 25 by 25, but we're going to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Very
going to be
cool.
exciting. And I really want Ariel to fly. So I'm hoping that we can set up some kind of apparatus so I can hoist my main elemental magic creature up in the air.
It's funny. I was going to say, so when I saw the production of The Wizard of Oz, there were the flying
The
monkeys.
flying monkeys,
The
yes.
day that I went, one of the monkeys, he was okay, but he just kind of came down and went foot on the floor.
Right?
And
Okay.
I think there was a little bit of a mistiming there, and this poor kid just came flying out of the ceiling and just went thunk on the floor, and I was like, "Wow, I'm not sure that's how that's supposed to work."
That's a hazard with flying monkeys. You never know what's going to happen.
Especially when they're like 6-year-old flying monkeys.
And trampolines everywhere. Oh my gosh, that was epic. That was so good.
That was good.
So also, moving on, we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
the Finding Common Ground Community Social, and this is really, really important. We have forgotten that our neighbors are our community, and
Right.
it's okay if we have different opinions. So Finding Common Ground is going on from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. in Colville at Yep Park.
Yep, Canham.
Yep Canham. Okay, I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yep Canham Park. Finding Common Ground is learning how to talk to your neighbor, and it's having a community event focused on getting to know each other and gaining insights into making it easier to talk. So when you look at your neighbor and you see your neighbor and not somebody who might have a different idea than you or might think a little bit differently than
Right.
you, it helps us become more human to each other.
Right.
So really, really important event from 12 to 2.
As they say over here, all of us are more aligned than we are divided.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We all want, essentially the same things. We want a good life. We want to be healthy. We want to be successful. We want our families and friends to be successful.
Well, and at the end of
Yeah.
the day, we all want what's best for the community. And
Yeah.
we may have differing ideas on what we think is the best for the community, but if we can just
Yeah.
focus on the fact that that's our goal is
Yeah.
everybody wants what's best.
Everybody
for-
wants what's best.
for
We
our
just have to
community.
talk to each other.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be, there's a cornhole game and balloon animals. There's a possible door prize. There's
Mm-hmm.
going to be food. I thought I saw somewhere that it was a potluck, but I guess not.
Yeah, there's a potluck.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah, bring a
dish.
side
There-
dish
There's
and
going to
lawn
be hot
chairs.
dogs and
Yeah.
hamburgers. they ask you to bring a side dish.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, very cool. So definitely go check that out.
And one thing that I have not learned from COVID, I still love a good potluck. Yeah.
Well, I monitor my own eating utensils and stuff, so that
Yeah,
don't wanna, no double dipping.
Yeah. Some of the best food is at potlucks. Come on now.
Oh my
Also,
God.
some of the worst food is at potlucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Although there is a Facebook group. Don't ever go to it. It's
Okay.
I think it's called "This Is Why I Don't Eat at Potlucks."
Oh no.
And yeah, don't
I'm not gonna
don't see
go.
it. You'll never want to eat at a potluck
Never again.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on, we have the Church Basement Ladies on the 18th.
Mhm.
We have All Ages Blues Jam at Fired Up Pizza from 4 to 7 o'clock over at Fired Up, the Blues Jam.
Mhm.
Pickleball is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and hopefully we're going to have a pickleball guy here on Wednesday, the 14th, to talk about that. We have, just kind of skipping ahead, I want to talk about the Small Business Expo that's happening on the 21st.
Yes.
That is super exciting. It's going from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Guest Elementary School. So the Chamber is hosting a Small Business Expo. It's an opportunity to connect with local businesses, discover new services, and support our community's entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
Very, very cool. We have, of course, the City Council meetings are getting more and more exciting. That's Wednesdays, and that is from 6:30 to 8 p.m. at the Chewelah Municipal Building. Go check those out.
Oh, which reminds me, we do have a couple of guests from the City Council
They just
joining
walked
us
in.
today.
Yeah.
All right. I forgot to say that at the beginning of the show, but it is in the description. We have Tracy Ling and Jim Caruso here from the City Council, filling us in a little bit, giving us some updates on what happened at last night's meeting
Yay.
and things going on with the city.
Very, very cool. I'm
Yeah.
excited about that, actually.
Yeah.
Cabin Fever Quilt Guild's 23rd annual Chewelah Quilt Show is coming up on the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely go check that out. That's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Jenkins High School. The piecing, applique, needlework, and quilting have been used for several millennia across the world. So go see their beautiful examples of all of these different types of quilts. Memorial Weekend over right there in Chewelah at the quilt show. So again, Jenkins from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on the 24th, Saturday the 24th.
And also, again, I don't have it on the calendar, which I need to slap myself
Chuck,
for.
yes.
It's a big one.
Yes,
It's Chewelah's
Chewelah's
Got
Got
Talent,
Talent,
happening
yes.
on the 24th. This is the main show and the competition. This is where the winner will be crowned. It's going to be a great show. Every year, this has been a great show. Brought it back last year after COVID. This is episode 7 of Chewelah's Got Talent, and we've got some great talent.
That is so cool.
A good show for us. So I'm really looking forward to this one. You can get your tickets online right now at KCHW.org, our KCHW Radio Facebook page.
Nice.
Or the new posters that are going up around town. There is a QR code you can scan and get those tickets directly online. We also have tickets available at Acres and United Drug.
Very cool.
So there you go. Well, Valley Acres United or Valley Drug. Sorry about that. We do have tickets available at Valley. I wasn't able to get to Acres yesterday to get those tickets in, but I'm going to get them this afternoon. So
Perfect.
they will be available.
They will
by
be
the end
there.
of today at Acres as well.
And I have to send a big thank you out to Acres Drug and Valley. They are so good about us being able to drop off tickets
They
and
really
have the
are.
local people come up and buy tickets,
Yep.
just to be able to walk up and say, hey, I need a ticket. And every show over at the Center for the Arts, they let us take tickets over there. They support the radio station. And I have to say, they know me at both Acres and Valley because I love to go shopping for Chewelah branded stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm like, what do you have? What's new? Go see. They both have a lot of really neat objects to support your home and your house and your health. And so, yeah, I love the show. I love both of them. They're so cool.
Oh, another fun one for ticket locations for Chewelah's Got Talent. We're going to have those available at the door for...
Perfect.
Yeah, at the door of the theater for Church Basement Ladies. You'll also be able to get your tickets for Chewelah's Got Talent
Perfect. Okay.
as you show up and get your tickets at the door, or as you check in for Church Basement Ladies, you can get your Chewelah's Got Talent ticket right there as well. So there you
Well,
go.
oofta,
And thank
that's
you-
so awesome.
And thank you, Sharon, and the Chewelah Center for the Arts for doing that. Which, of course, we have long time partnered with the
Yes.
Chewelah Center for the Arts for Chewelah's Got Talent. So it's a good fun collaborative effort there. So appreciate that, you guys. And I would like to thank our sponsors for Chihuahua's Got Talent as well. We have our main showcase. What's it? Spotlight.
Do you need your coffee, Chuck?
I
Have
do.
a sip of your coffee.
It's
Do you
still
like
too
my
hot.
beautiful mug?
I do. It's still too hot to drink. It's just black right now, but
Oh, no.
it does color change into a KCHW mug.
It was really pretty about, an hour ago.
Right. But our spotlight sponsor is New Beam. They provide our internet right here at the studio and up at the tower. We like to thank them for all of their support that they give us. I can't say they're one of our favorite sponsors, because all of our sponsors are our favorite sponsors.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
Yeah.
But we do love them very much. Thank you, guys. We also have Chihuahua Flooring. We have Sharon and Gino Ludwig. We have the Chihuahua Creative District, Richmond Logging, and, of course, the Chihuahua Independent, all sponsoring the show. So thank you guys so much for that.
Yes.
Appreciate it. You guys are going to have your own tables at the show.
Right. And when are you
nice.
going to have me on focusing on Shakespeare so I can share my sponsors and all the cool stuff? We'll have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Or I can just blather on, because I could fill an hour.
Oh, I know.
Everybody on Radio Land is it's naughty. Oh, yeah, she could fill an hour.
Like, oh, yeah. Yep. That's Paula.
I love it.
All right. Craig McQuain says good morning. Good morning, Craig. How you doing?
Good morning, Craig.
All right. So let's go ahead and we have guests in the other room.
Yes.
So if you don't have anything else.
No, this is perfect. We're right on time.
I would say let's go ahead and take our break. We're going to listen to some news. We're going to thank some of our other favorite sponsors.
Yes.
And be right back in a few minutes with the KCHW Morning Show right here on KCHW 102.7, your Northern Lights Public Radio.
The Public News Service Show newscast, May the 8th, 2025. I'm Mike Clifford. Lawyers representing a number of immigrants asked a federal judge on Wednesday to urgently block the Trump administration from deporting a group of people to Libya, Saudi Arabia, or any other country until the U.S. government gives them a chance to contest the removals. That for the Washington Post. They report lawyers asked Judge Brian Murphy in Boston to rule quickly after reports that federal immigration officers were preparing to expel people from Vietnam, Laos, and the Philippines to Libya. Next, 9 in 10 people in Colorado and across the globe are worried about climate change and want governments to do something about it, according to a new survey.
But they mistakenly assume that others do not share their view. Anthony Leisowitz with the Yale Program on Climate Change Communication calls this a perception gap.
The average person believes that other people in their own country tend not to worry about climate change that much, when in fact, the majority of people in most countries do worry about climate change.
That gap in perception has real-world policy implications. In the U.S., almost 80% of congressional staffers underestimated their constituents' support for reducing climate pollution, sometimes by more than 50 percentage points. Leisowitz says helping more people understand that they're not in the minority could unlock a social tipping point that moves leaders to act. I'm Eric Galatis.
And a debate in Indiana over history and power. The lieutenant governor there recently defended what's called the 3/5 compromise in a social media video. Our Julia Lurie has more.
The compromise counted enslaved people as 3/5 of a person for representation and taxes. Beckwith called it a great move for America at the time and praised the group wall builders. He described them as the gold standard for teaching U.S. history. The Indiana Citizen investigated both claims. Publisher Bill Morrow says Hoosiers should pay attention.
Lieutenant Governor Beckwith is literally one heartbeat away from being governor.
If Beckwith became governor, he could shape education policy. That includes choosing textbooks textbooks. The Indiana Citizens report found Wall Builders promotes views rejected by most historians. Some Hoosiers agree with Beckwith and say his views reflect America's religious roots.
And from The Guardian, plumes of black smoke have emerged from the chimney on top of the Sistine Chapel. That signals that the 133 cardinals sealed off inside have so far not elected a new pope on the first day of the conclave. They report after the formal procession to the Sistine Chapel and each of the cardinals swearing the oath of secrecy, the first voting round only got underway at around 5:45 local time. This is Public News Service. Congressional Republicans are poised to move forward with a proposal that would bring major cuts to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program.
SNAP benefits cover certain grocery costs for low-income Americans, and the program could be swept up in $230 billion worth of funding cuts over the next decade if the plan passes. And one provision calls on states to pick up some of the funding, even though many legislatures would face difficulties in finding the money. Sophia Linares-Coy with the food group in Minnesota says beyond recipients, local economies would be disrupted too.
Certainly folks are going to farmers markets to use their SNAP. So that's going to be an impact to farmers' bottom lines.
She says it's also likely local grocery stores will see reduced activity, especially in rural areas where program participation is higher. The USDA argues the Trump administration is trying to right-size the program, but even some House Republicans express worry. I'm Mike Moen.
And veteran lawmakers from Georgia and across the nation warned that rolling back federal climate protection threatens Americans' energy security and democracy.
At a D.C. summit, elected officials to protect America underscored how the Inflation Reduction Act has delivered clean energy jobs and environmental justice gains. Actress Yetide Badaki was among them and cautioned that this progress is now under threat, urging Americans that now is the time to take action for justice and defend key climate laws.
Until January 2025, for the first time, communities that had been left behind from the American dream were experiencing economic and environmental justice opportunities with the Inflation Reduction Act.
Badaki reminded the audience that protecting climate laws isn't just about policy, it's about ensuring opportunity, justice, and a better future for communities across the country. Shantia Hudson reporting.
Finally, over the past 15 years, folks in West Virginia have been shelling out more of their income each month on energy bills.
Emmett Pepper with Energy Efficient West Virginia says coal is now an expensive choice for producing energy compared with renewable resources. He adds big coal's grip on the state is costing households.
We have monopolies in West Virginia for our electric utilities, so they should be run in a way that is the most cost-effective, reducing the bills for West Virginians.
Residents have seen their average electricity price jump by 90% since the early 2000s, according to Conservation West Virginia. The West Virginia Coal Association argues ramping up coal production will lower consumers' bills. Nadia Ramlagan reporting.
This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service. We are member and listener supported. Hear us on interesting radio stations, your favorite podcast platform. Find our content and trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
Broadcasting from beautiful Chewelah, Washington, this is Northern Lights Public Radio, KCHW 102.7.
It's 8:10.
Your KCHW morning show is made possible by donations from
Colville Toyota. Colville Toyota, located at 160 West 3rd Avenue in Colville, offers new and used vehicle sales and service. Vehicle sales is open 8:30 a.m. till 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, with a Toyota Express Maintenance Center open 7:30 a.m. till 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. More information on Colville Toyota's vehicle inventory and services is available at colvilletoyota.com. A small-town dealership with a big heart.
And by Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewelah Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at ChewelahFlooring.com, Call 509-935-8021 or via email at chuilaflooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
Staring at you.
You're looking at me like you expect me to say something. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the KCHW Morning Show.
You were
It
the radio
is-
host. I am expecting you to say something.
Right? I should say something. It is Thursday, once again, still May 8th. We are back again from our break. We're joined here in the studio again with myself, Paula Randall, and we have our very special guest, Mayor Pro Temp. Is it Temp or Tem?
Tem.
Mayor Pro Tem, thank you. Tracy Ling and City Council Member Jim Caruso. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, Paula, Chuck.
It's early.
It is. It is early.
Get right up
We
in
went out and you
Oh,
guys
there we
were
go.
kind of lounged out in the seats out there, and I felt bad for not having coffee ready for you.
It's
But
all right.
We
It's
do
all
have
right.
we do have coffee.
Okay.
I just didn't have it ready for you in a cup.
On the top.
We're big kids. We
Yeah,
can
on the
make it
side,
ourselves.
so you don't
And
have to
I
hear
forgot
you.
yesterday that I used our last paper cup, so I had
Wow.
to dig into my dirty dish bin and wash one for Paula this morning.
Yes, I have my KCHW mug. It actually, when you have hot stuff in here, it comes up with a logo. It's very cool.
Oh, that is
But
cool.
my coffee
Yeah.
has cooled, and so now the logo is gone. But you can kind of see it.
Huh.
Right there.
That's pretty
Isn't that
cool.
That
Yeah.
is cool.
I'll get our merch
know,
link up there if you
merch.
want one
Boy,
for
you
yourself.
could, you could put other things there too, like something, I don't know. You don't-
I do believe in the 80s my uncle had one that was not appropriate for children.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
I remember those.
They used to have those pens, and
Yes.
you face the pen a certain way, and they
Yep.
dress.
Yes.
Wow.
My girlfriend had one.
Nice. Yeah, I think my uncle had some of those too.
Yeah.
I think he also had the air freshener in his car of a naked lady.
Oh, really?
I
Yeah.
think this conversation has really
Yeah,
derailed.
it's really gone
Yeah,
off the
I
rails.
know.
This is not-
Very different from
this
what I
is-
was expecting.
This is not appropriate
Let's
at all.
bring this back.
No.
Okay, so
Okay.
welcome.
Tracy, how dare you?
I know. Well, yeah, put it on me. I'm the one with the coffee cup.
Right? Let's
Yeah,
play-
it's me. I'll take it. I own it.
Oh.
And there he goes.
I'm
He's-
dropping stuff over there.
right?
I dropped one
It's
of our
all
other
good.
DJ's headphones. So yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've had a little bit of turnover in the mayor's office. We're bringing on there's some seats open
Yeah.
to run with. We had our city council meeting last night. I got to say, it actually went kind of, to be honest with you, was expecting some fireworks. Some of the city council meetings sometimes get a little contentious. Hats off to you guys. It went really smooth.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a pretty civil, calm meeting, and got some stuff done and had some conversations, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I think the biggest thing is being heard up there.
Yeah.
This is our only time that we get to talk to each other
Right.
all together. So for us, it's like it's a big deal to hear what we have to say to each other, and it can go in different directions because
Right.
we're all in different committees, and
Yeah.
so we really do need to have that time, and we took it.
Well, and I think it's important for people that go to the city council meetings to understand too that yes, you can go. It's not necessarily a spectator sport.
No.
Because it's an actual working meeting.
It is.
This is where things get done. You guys have conversations. The public can watch.
Right.
There is that comment period at the beginning.
Yes.
But the rest of the time, you guys are actually getting the city work done. So-
Right. It's the only time we can get it done.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of work to do. There's a lot of things that haven't been updated
Mhm.
since 2015, and that's what we were talking about last night. So we're gonna have a lot of ordinances, and
Mhm.
resolutions, and it's all good. But it makes us very, very busy.
Yeah.
But we all knew we're in a committee meeting, so we all knew something of what was happening last night, depending on the committee meeting.
I will have to say, sometimes going to the city council meeting, there's so many times when I just want to blurt out, actually, I want to say something, but I'm like, just shut up. Yeah.
Well, and we have some very important decisions coming up that citizens, it's polarizing,
Right.
to
Yes.
say the least. We have, there is information coming forward of cannabis shops. The people want to have cannabis shops open in the city limits.
In city limits. I've been seeing them post on Chihuahua News and Information a lot.
Right,
Yeah.
and I think that's an interest. It's polarizing. You're either for it or against it. There's not a lot of middle ground. But the council needs to make that decision because right now it is not allowed in the city limits.
Right.
And we've been approached by some vendors that want to put that in. So council is, needing to discuss that through our committee meetings.
Yeah.
And that can be debated on a whole show on its own.
Yeah, I was
absolutely.
gonna say,
Yeah.
Totally.
We lived in Airway Heights before we lived here, and of course Airway Heights, they have cannabis shops in the city.
Right.
So I fully support the benefits of cannabis. I know friends who use it very much, and it's the only thing that will help them with stomach issues or other medicinal issues.
Right.
But I'm allergic to cannabis. The smell actually makes me nauseous and I get sick. So in Airway Heights, when you have a cannabis shop, you have the smell. And when you drive by, it would go all the way across the road. I mean, it was just so pervasive. So it was like, that's something to consider too.
Right.
The health benefits for people in town, but then the effect of having it in town. So I can see how both sides would have a lot of very, very meaningful things to say.
Yeah.
And there are people that use it for medicinal purpose. There, whether some even, whether it's even the term is self-medicating.
Right.
Or even, actual, legitimate, going through their doctors, medical patients. A lot of those people already have problems getting to the one on the outskirts of town. And I think having one they could walk to or one close by could be really beneficial.
And that would be a lot of money for the town too, wouldn't it?
It's not as much as you think.
Okay.
People think that the cities rake in a lot of money because of this, but most of the tax money goes to the state, and that's a misnomer that people don't realize. So what we're going to have is a public or a town hall meeting to talk about this, and as soon as the date is set up by the city administrator, it'll be put on the website. But it's going to be a town hall meeting. People can come up, and at that time, we will have exact figures of. I've heard anything from 1.5% is all that the city gets out of, because I believe that the state gets 37 to 37.5% tax.
Yeah.
On these sales.
Yeah, the state is who makes the money.
Yeah.
So.
But then I'd be interesting to hear how much of that money, how the state uses that money, and how much of that money could potentially come back to the community.
Exactly.
From the state.
Right.
And these are answers that we will have for people, because that's a lot of people. Like I said, a lot of people want the stores here.
Right.
And then there's a lot of people that do not.
And I've been for a long time been a proponent of legalizing it. Mostly, in the city, I could, whatever the city council decides is fine. But I think it needs to be looked at objectively and truthfully. There's a lot of, through the years, the old reefer madness, which we all know has it started as a scare film, but now it's a comedy,
Yeah.
And there's most, the myths about, it's a gateway drug. It's not. It's a gateway drug the same way a bicycle is a gateway drug to be in a biker gang. You look back, most people who are drug addicts look back and they say, the first illegal drug I used was marijuana. But that's the same as a guy in a biker gang saying, the first bike I rode was a bicycle as a kid. There's no correlation there. It's just most drug addiction comes from pharmaceuticals.
Oh yeah.
From overprescription of drugs, from chronic illnesses, from mental disorders. It's been very thoroughly disproven that marijuana is not a gateway drug, and the vast majority of cannabis users stop there.
I think the gateway drug is sugar. Actually,
Oh yeah.
I think that's the gateway drug.
Yeah.
I know
that gets you young.
Well, I know I know that when I have sugar, all I want is more.
Right.
To me, so
sugar or
that's,
caffeine or
Yeah.
So but like I said, we could go on about that, but we probably shouldn't do that right here.
No.
Just be objective about it and look at the facts behind it, and not the old
and that's our plan.
The disproven myths.
That's what we need to do, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of our city council for doing it.
Yeah.
Taking the time to do it, because we spend a lot of time, in these meetings, and so here we are now. We're at a town hall, but it's important.
Yeah. No,
So.
I agree.
Yeah, and we also have water rates.
Yes.
That's another topic that the council's going to be looking at. Water rates, water rate overages.
Yeah.
and try and get that fine-tuned, because we do have a well that's going to be drilled and a lot of water infrastructure with our loan that's coming up that has to be paid for. It's just how much do we charge people for overage? And so that is a topic that was touched on last night that the council will have to decide.
And explain what you mean by overage.
Yeah.
I kind of vaguely understand, but explain to the audience what overage means.
Basically, everybody pays a base rate for their water. And then as you go over that base rate in gallons, let's say you get 5,000 gallons.
Yeah.
All right. And I don't have any paperwork in front of me, so.
Right. We're just going to use that.
But let's just say you get 5,000 gallons.
I think 5,000 was the example used in the city council meeting last
that
night.
was, yeah. So after that 5,000 gallons, then for every gallon you use over that, there's a charge. And so if you use, say, 10,000 gallons more than your base rate, then there's a set charge for that per gallon. If you use 25,000 gallons more than that, there's a set charge for that.
Right.
A little higher charge. And if you use 100,000 gallons, then it's another tier, another percentage tier where it's even higher.
Yeah.
And so what the council and the city is trying to do is figure out the balance between the base rate that people would pay, because people don't want to pay a lot more for a base rate,
right?
Versus the overage rate, to kind of make it fair for everybody,
right?
And so we'll be looking at that, and that's another one of these things that the council's going to be deciding, because the way that the city works is they don't read the meters every month. So at the end of August, you get a bill in September or October that is a pretty high water bill if you've been watering your yard all summer.
Or just just being free with use of water. I think the whole point is that is set up to conserve water, and I think Tanya Wallace has talked about bringing someone in to teach us how to landscape differently, or efficient ways to water catchment, or different things. Just education. It's an option, and I think we could benefit. But water, and we're talking about treated water here.
Right.
That's the piece. Like, are we going to put treated water on our lawn? Well, if that's all you have, that's what you're putting on your lawn.
Right.
So maybe we have another discussion. How do we get different water?
That was one of my thoughts going through my head is, when I was a kid, we lived in the Tri-Cities.
Yeah, and we had irrigation.
Yeah, the irrigation is, everybody has two sources of water. You have irrigation, which is cheap or almost free.
Yeah.
I know our neighborhood that we lived in, it was a residential neighborhood, and there was an irrigation ditch.
I did too. I grew up that way.
And everybody had their pump and the little irrigation ditch, and it pumped into your yard.
Yeah, but we don't. In the infrastructure here, we don't have that. We don't have the pipes.
You
don't
have
that
the
set
choice
up.
to do
right.
that.
Exactly.
And then I know I lived in Arizona for many years, and so the water capture plans and the conservation was very different. We did a lot of gray water reusing, which means you have to be very careful about what detergents and things you're using.
Yeah.
But we can do that. Are there any rain capture laws in Chewelah? Can we capture rain and use that too?
And I think that opens a discussion, right?
Yes, we can do that.
It's the discussion, like, and how to do that and how to implement that.
Right.
And so we're supporting each other. And now we need to educate ourselves on how to do these things maybe differently and help bring those costs down, bring the usage down, so there isn't a cost.
Well, and I might get into borderline conspiracy or just giving my own opinion here.
Conspiracy away.
No, but it's not really conspiracy. It's fact. Before about the 1950s, lawns weren't this one type of grass lawn that grows up that requires fertilizer and requires constant attention. People had a mix of clovers and different kinds of grasses.
Well, and there's non-grasses.
And
the wildflowers. If you use native plants, the wildflowers, the wonderful arrowroot that grows everywhere in Spokane, there are native flowers that you can plant that don't require as much water. You don't have to water
Right.
and have a beautiful,
And that's
bee-friendly, wonderful yard.
And they provide a little more shade cover for your grass, so you don't need to water as much. They don't allow the your soil to dry up that much. And my neighbors love me because I plant clover in my yard every year.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to get it taken over, but my grass won't give up. It just won't. I can't get the clover to
stop
take over.
watering it, Chuck.
Right? I don't
Right?
even do that.
There we
but
go.
I do have enough clover to where I think it does help the grass, and I don't. And you can do a mix of grass and clover.
Yeah.
Well,
and you
and-
don't have to water it near as much.
Yeah, and there's other options as well. There's the creeping thyme. There's
Mhm.
creeping chamomile. There's a couple of different very wonderful aromatic ground covers.
I need to figure it out. That's for sure.
Yeah, that I've been looking at for our yard because I don't want to do the classic formal garden where I have to mow everything.
I know,
don't-
that's the thing, mowing.
Yeah.
But when you're up at the golf course,
Yeah.
you're on the course,
Yeah.
you want lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the creeping thyme is gorgeous and it smells great.
Right? The
And you can
pretty
walk on it
purple
with your bare
flowers.
feet. And
Ooh,
it's like,
I'd like
and it's
that.
like velvet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
there's lots of options.
creeping. Okay, yeah.
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 So moving on to other city business, we have election week.
Yes.
And we had 5 positions of council members open, and for those, we've got 4 of our council members, 3 of our council members that have posted that they're running for an office again. And then we have a Vanessa Bigler who is running for council number 1. Aaron and I have not gone on yet, but so I've been thinking about a lot, and it's funny. On Monday, Vanessa posted that she was going for council number 1, which is my position, and so I thought, okay. And then later in the day, I got a call from Tanya, stating, she goes, "You haven't read your email," and I'm like, "No," and the mayor resigned. So then all of a sudden I'm the mayor, and I know I'm mayor pro tem, but
Right.
it's like she was saying, "You're the mayor," and I'm like, "Well, I'm mayor pro tem." So I want to announce today I am running for mayor.
Okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I will be posting that at some point, either today or tomorrow. My mom's in town. Funny, she's in town this week. This has been a crazy
yeah.
week.
I thought I saw her out doing some gardening
She
in front
does.
of your house. Yeah.
She does. That's what she does. That's her love, and she wouldn't stop. It's like I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna think I'm a slave driver with with this whole people, because so many people have driven by and gone, I've seen her out there. What's going on, Tracy? No, she's great. She loves to clean up the yard. She likes to see the ground. And so she just won't stop. And it's like, I do feed her.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, if she gets done with yours and runs out of stuff to do, she can go up the street to mine because, good Lord, mine needs it.
I know. I'm so sad. I'm driving her back. My dad and I, we meet in Ritzville because they live in Pasco. So
Yeah.
we meet halfway. Well, Ritzville. So I'll be taking her to Ritzville today at some
Nice.
point and saying goodbye. Bye.
Are you gonna stop at everybody's favorite gas station?
Yeah, that
gas
wonderful
station
little
and bathroom
deli
stop?
that's there, but in Richville where they have the charging station. We know it because we drive an electric car and they have the charging
Oh.
sting there. But you can go in and you can get ice cream and you can get great food and they have that
Yeah,
fun little shop.
yeah.
And
I probably am not.
it's like everybody stops there.
I know they do. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how the day goes. I almost need a nap after last night.
Right?
Yeah. I'm tired. This is early morning after a
Right.
big night.
Right?
Yeah. So
Well, that is super exciting. Congratulations.
So the next piece about the okay, so with the mayor leaving us, I don't mean to sound like that.
With the change.
Right, right.
change. He so now council will appoint a new mayor, and those applications are available now online at the city website, and they close the end of the month on the 30th.
Okay.
And then we will go through the process of interviewing, depending on how many people apply for that, and a council committee depending also on that. We don't know.
So just to reiterate, the sign up period to sign up
Is
to
now.
get your name in.
Yeah.
For the mayor.
Now through
The 30th.
the 30th. Thank you.
Yes.
Sorry.
And that would be to operate as the interim mayor, the appointed mayor. There's
Yeah.
a couple different names for it. only until the election in November.
Right. So that person would take over in November. Normally, they would take over in January, but because of this situation,
right,
that
they can take over in November.
The elected mayor would have precedence over an appointed mayor.
And, so this one is appointed by the city council.
Yes.
And you apply as if you're applying for a job.
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
Correct.
Yes.
And then it's not directly right after the election in November. The election has to be certified.
Yeah.
For it to be official, and then that person could take over the very next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as far as people that want to run for council, they can get on the Stevens County Auditor's website, file for council, and they have until 5 o'clock on Friday.
Tomorrow.
So I was looking on the state site because I'm an activist. I feel very passionately about rights and things like that. And I went to go look, and it was like, oh my gosh, I have to have a treasurer appointed. I have to have all these things. And I'm like, how does anybody who's going for city council get all that ready? So what do I have to have? Like, I want to go and apply for a seat. Do I just fill out the form and I worry about everything else later? Or
fill out the form. It
like
will kind of take you along.
Yeah.
For one thing, if you're not expected to get, is it $7,000 or $700, something like this? If you're not expected to get large donations, then you can do mini filing with the PDC.
Okay.
And it will go through and talk to you about that. And you can be your own treasurer. I mean, you don't have to appoint somebody different as a treasurer.
So I would just go for online candidate filing here off
There
the
you
Stevens
go.
County
And then
website?
Go on online candidate file, and then just follow the questions. It will ask you these questions and explain
what they
everything to you.
It's not,
It's a pretty easy
afraid.
process.
Okay,
and then
good,
there's seats 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7 are open for candidacy.
Okay. And you said 7 we saw on the other screen. 7 doesn't have anybody yet, so I should go for 7.
You can go for any of them.
Well, I don't want 1 if that becomes mayor pro tem. I'm not ready for that.
No.
No.
1 has nothing. One has nothing to.
No.
1 through 7 has nothing to do with mayor pro tem.
No,
good, okay.
the council decides who the mayor pro tem is.
Okay.
And they would not normally choose someone who's brand new.
Yeah.
No.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah, I was going to say somebody needs to know what they're doing.
So, that was going to be one of my questions. So if somebody runs, do you get to pick the seat that you're running for? Like, say, I want to run against this particular person.
Yes, you do.
On there. Okay.
Yep. So if somebody wants to run against somebody in particular, they can go after that.
But it has
seat.
to be one of those seats that are open.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only 2 that are not open are Councilman Snupp and Kaboski.
Okay.
And what seats are those?
4 and 5.
4 and 5. And those won't even be listed on on the auditor's
not
website.
Available.
That seems like a lot to be up for election in one
it is.
one cycle.
It's usually for every 2 years, but because Tim was appointed,
right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
These are the rules.
Okay. And so there's one that is currently empty, vacant.
Correct.
And then the other 3 are people running again. So you, for your seat, you said you're announcing you're running for mayor.
Yeah.
So that seat then is now, does that become open, or do you hold on to that seat if you don't win the mayor race?
I'm out.
Okay. So it's all or nothing.
All or nothing.
It's all or nothing.
Okay.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Jump. It's taking the jump.
It is. It's a big decision, and I didn't make it lightly. And then I was that on Monday.
Yeah.
And I mean, not in the same way.
Right.
But it was in my now I am that. And running the meeting, I've done it before. And I think that for me, because I don't do it all the time, I'm getting better at it. I don't know, or more used to it, I should say. It's listening. It's doing all those things, keeping in order, and remembering to say discussion or just roll call, Devin. All the things. But I am like in my head thinking about my committee meetings. And they're coming up, and I'm like, oh, and then sometimes there's like 3 things I'm thinking of at the same time. My mind just goes, well.
Yeah.
I don't know. What were you thinking? So it'll be easier to not do both.
Right.
It's fine right now. I mean, it's getting easier. I'm getting more used to it.
Yeah. I would like to just put out sort of a note or a comment about the mayor leaving, resigning his seat. We don't know what happens in people's personal lives, and
No.
be respectful. You see online there's a lot of rumors going around. If he wants to address some of those, that is on him. His personal life, his family life is his business.
Yeah.
And be respectful moving forward. And this is
Yeah.
business as usual. And we
Yeah.
don't know people's reasons for doing things. And I wish him the best. I hope he has a great future wherever that ends up being. If he stays in Chewelah or goes elsewhere, it's sad that we lose a business in town as well. They announced they were closing down their business.
Yeah.
Yeah, Market on Main.
So yeah, best luck to you guys.
Yeah.
Good luck in the future, and hope you end up on your feet somewhere.
Well, I spent 3 years with Mayor McKenna.
Yep.
As his city administrator, and so I was there his first day when he came in, and it was a growing process for both of us.
Yep.
I was learning to be a CA, and he was learning to be a mayor, and he as Tracy is going for mayor. It's a really tough job.
Oh, yeah.
It's a tough job.
Yeah.
Just on its own, it's tough. But
Yeah.
when you have a mayor that comes in and has to deal with a pandemic,
Yeah.
and has to deal with multiple personnel changes
Yep.
in
Yeah.
the city,
Yep.
and still try and run a business,
Yep.
it is none of our business as to why he decided to resign from mayor.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I wish him the best
Yep.
in whatever he goes forward with.
Yeah.
But he definitely had a rough job going
He did.
right from the very beginning.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that as Tracy transitions, or whoever transitions into this mayor's role, that they lean on their people to help them to get acclimated to, because nobody can come into this job and just hit the ground running.
No, there's
It's
no
such a learning process.
There's no preparation for
Oh, I
this.
bet.
No,
Yeah.
no. So
And it's a brutal job.
it is. It is. A lot of people call it a thankless job.
Yeah.
And I could see that at times, and anyway, I just wish him the best, and whoever gets the mayor's job moving forward, I wish them the best,
Exactly.
and whatever's best for the city. Is
Exactly.
how we have to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the
Yep.
spirit of cooperation, again, making sure
Yeah.
that we remember that we
Yeah.
are community, all of us.
Yes.
Yes.
All
And
of
that
us.
All of us are concerned with how we move forward. All of us are concerned with our city's growth. All of us are concerned with too much growth, too little growth. All of us are concerned with the health of businesses, right? This
We're-
is our home.
We're all on
So,
this
yeah,
same little speck of dust
exactly.
hurtling through space at 67,000 miles an hour. We're all on the
Exactly.
same boat.
Yes.
I want to give a shout out to people who are listening. We have Cindy Warner saying that she was going to go to the meeting last night and was not able to because they were waiting for a person to come. K.S. Brooks says hi, and also says that the Silverado Express newspaper talks about bee-friendly yards. So we were talking
Oh.
about bee-friendly yards earlier.
Yeah.
So check out the Silverado.
And Cindy Warner is a great person.
Yes.
Her and her husband, they're just both fantastic people.
Yes.
They really
And she has had a question for me, as have other people. We purchased the equipment so that we can live stream our council meetings.
Oh.
Anybody, anywhere. Scott in Maine could watch the council meeting.
He would, too. He'd be like,
He
I'm
would.
on.
He really would.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't think he would.
And so people are saying, well, how can we do this? We want to get these meetings live streamed, and there's been some technical difficulties with getting this stuff installed. But I do know the city's moving forward with getting the equipment finally installed so that snowbirds or anybody that is interested can watch these meetings.
Nice.
And
I think
Cindy was one of the ones that had sent me an email, that said, hey, when can we expect this to be done? And so
Yeah.
it's coming. It's just not as fast
And
as I hope.
I can verify hooking up the tech and all that stuff. There's a lot of figuring out.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it's you try something, oh, that's not going to work. You try this, oh, that's not going to work. And it's especially when you mix in, city government, which is essentially a large nonprofit organization.
Yes.
Doing that kind of thing, there's a lot of tape to jump through, a lot of hoops.
It's a lot of delaying.
Yeah.
A lot of like, oh, yeah.
I've
and who
seen-
can do it and like what time frame they're on and what
Yeah.
their list of things to do are. Yeah. And it was Jim's idea originally that he brought to council
Yeah.
from ARPA funds. And we thought about that and we said, yeah, we want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And it's everybody should be able to participate in the meeting.
I agree.
And
Yeah.
during snowy winter nights, when you don't want to go down to City Hall for
Yeah.
a meeting, but you're still interested
Yeah.
in what's going on,
Or
can-
yeah.
And you can bring it up on your phone, put your headphones on while you're making food or while you're
Washing dishes or
washing
something,
dishes,
yeah. Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
or mowing the lawn, you don't
snow blowing the driveway.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think it would make the city council meetings more accessible to our younger audience, our younger people, that are at home with their kids
right.
and physically cannot
And there's
leave their
disabled
home.
people that just can't get out of the
Right, and
house.
Right.
but
Or
yet-
it's just not easy or they're working or whatever. Yeah.
And there's citizens that just physically can't make it to the meeting, but
Exactly.
yet
Mm-hmm.
they're still paying taxes. They're
Yeah.
still
Yeah. They want to know
have
about the
every
water
right.
rates. They want to know
Yeah.
about the conversations we're having.
Yeah.
And that way, too, it's like it's firsthand,
Yeah. Exactly.
And instead of like social media where it gets incited in certain ways, it's like, yeah,
Yeah, you don't have the full story.
Yeah, you don't.
You're like, oh, something happened, and then you're digging. What's
What
going
happened?
on?
And there's a lot of the civic pride that comes with. You don't even have to be involved, just knowing what's going on, like you said, firsthand.
yeah,
And I think there's a lot of people that have complaints, people that have issues with how things are running. That if they go to the city council meetings, if they see how things are actually working, there's a little more understanding. I mean, you're never going to make everybody happy all the time.
no,
Yeah.
But it creates if you're aware of things happening, things don't come at you as a surprise.
Right.
And it's just you gain a little more understanding of how the process works, and you're like, okay, well, yeah, I'm not really happy about how this is working, but this is what I can do to change it, or this is
Yeah.
why it's happening this way.
yeah.
And getting yourself knowledge. It's just about gaining the knowledge of what's happening.
Mhm.
You
And
don't
talk-
you don't have to agree or disagree. Just having
Get
that.
involved,
Yeah, being involved helps.
get knowledgeable and talk to your council members, out there. Make your voice heard to them because we're
Yeah.
always listening.
You are.
And, that's you're who we listen to. So,
And I have great respect for everybody on the city council, even
Yes.
some that I at times have not agreed with.
yes.
But you know what? I don't think there's anybody on the city council right now that you can't pull aside and have a conversation with, even if it's, like I said, somebody you're not going to agree with.
right.
Everybody will still talk to you and have that
Yes.
conversation.
And that's huge.
So,
That's a huge thing. That's a wonderful gift that we have here in Chewelah.
Yeah.
Again, talking about community, the fact that all the city council members are accessible, they're willing to have a conversation, that they're willing to listen to each other. I mean, that is something we should cherish and continue to develop and nurture. 'Cause
Yeah.
Not
And you
every
have
place
seven.
has
You have
that.
7 different opinions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There is not one thing that I can think of that we have all agreed on 100%. You have 7 different opinions, and so as we have these meetings, there is some talking between council members of for clarification or opinion or projection, anything, and that's how it's supposed
Oh,
to
yeah.
be.
Yeah.
That's how it was intended.
Yeah.
And there are times, I want to rip whatever little bit of hair I have left on my head out and scream, "What are you guys doing?" And there are times I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I see your point. I agree with you 100%."
Yeah.
And that's the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Right. I think correct knowledge, I think we all are more in agreement when we have it. And our job is to get to it,
Right.
What is it? What is it we're really talking about?
Yeah.
And everybody has a valid point when they're speaking, like you said, for clarification or a question. It's like, oh, I never thought of it that way. Okay. It helps unify us in that way. And I think we're a good council. We've worked hard. We work hard. I know we do.
Harder than you get paid for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. And the mayor's office. I mean, the mayor works and gets more. What's the word I'm looking for? More. I guess more criticism. More.
Yeah, they're one person where the group of 7 is a group. You know,
it barely pays more than. I mean,
No.
it's essentially volunteer.
It-
Everything
it
is.
is.
It doesn't even pay for the time spent.
No.
there.
it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Not even close.
No.
So
No.
So a little bit of grace, a little bit.
Nobody's
of
going to get
graciousness.
into city government
Yeah.
for the money.
Yeah, for the money.
You know, nobody's going to get on council or be mayor for the
Yeah.
money.
Exactly.
It's just not going to happen.
So I do have a couple other questions, some things that came up in the city council meeting last night that I wanted to ask a little more about that I think some other people might be interested. I heard, and again, we're having a hard time kind of hearing in the back of the room.
Yeah.
Especially with the two ladies next to me talking the whole time. My wife.
Oh, you're in trouble now.
Right? But no, there was something about a rebate program, an energy rebate program. Do you know more about that?
Go ahead.
I don't know.
Okay.
Did you know about that? I had heard about it, but I'm not in public
I think they
works
said
or-
Nate knows more
Yes.
about that, and we might get Nate on here to talk about that because
I think Nate was going to go after maybe some more money for I don't know what he was doing.
because I thought somebody said something about it, and it wasn't on the agenda.
No.
About a rebate program through the city instead of through like Avista or somebody like that.
Mhm.
The city's working on getting their own rebate program,
Mm.
and I'm curious because I'm right now installing a new on-demand water heater that's going to be use considerably less energy.
Mhm.
And so I'm interested. I've searched for rebates before, and there were none available
Mhm.
in our area, and I was curious if that was something.
I would
that-
just continue to check the
Yeah,
city
okay.
website because a lot of these are just ideas right
Mhm.
now, and it might be a good idea for a future show to have Nate from our electrical department and Mike Frizzell,
I
our
agree.
director of public works, have both of them in.
Yeah.
I call Mike Frizzell our human time capsule because he's been here so long. He was an invaluable help to me as CA because he was CA before I was. And there's not a lot that you can't ask him that he doesn't have an answer
Right.
for. So
And-
put him on the mic, put Nate on the mic, and
And he's easy to talk to, and he will give you.
he
straight up
is
answers.
very easy
Yeah.
to talk to, very knowledgeable.
Knows what he's
and-
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
He's
Nate as well.
Such
Nate's
an
very
asset.
knowledgeable.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Just
They
such
just
assets
care
to
so
the
much.
city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
such assets to the city. They're fantastic.
I agree. And speaking of us, so we have a new city administrator.
Yes,
Uh,
Tanya Wallace.
Tanya.
Who appears to be doing a phenomenal job.
Yes.
Very knowledgeable. She just seems to she came from, she was a CA in another city first.
She
right?
was the
Finance. What? You know.
CFO. She was the CFO for Spokane.
Okay. Yeah.
And she fell to the politics sword when a new mayor came in. The new mayor chopped many department heads.
Right.
And she was here working with our clerk treasurer on just a temporary basis.
Yeah.
And then put in for the CA position and was hired. And she brings invaluable financial experience to the city.
Yeah.
And she's been doing a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Just a fantastic job all the way around.
Now, for anybody listening that's wondering, what exactly is the CA, the city administrator? Jim, I think
City
you might
admin.
know a little bit about this.
I do. Yeah.
Just a bit.
She's the new city administrator, and what the city administrator does is make sure that the lights stay on, the water keeps running, that they implement the policies set forth by the council, and they're the person that runs the day-to-day operations of the entire city. They're in charge of the police department, public works, electric. They are the ones that make sure that those people have what they need to do their jobs.
Right. Right.
And then they're the ones that do the budgeting and everything that a city needs to run, they have their hands in.
That seems like a lot for one person.
Yeah, she is. I talked to her the other day, and
Jim's like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, and she likes it here because it's a challenge, and it's diverse.
Right.
There's so much diversity, and that's what she's enjoying right now. And there's a lot to get up to date. There's a lot of things that are very dated, and so she's going through things, and I think that's great. Like new eyes on, okay, here we go. And in the meantime, juggling what she's got to juggle with, what changes happen.
Yeah.
And so here we are, but she's easy to get along with. She's pretty just straightforward.
She's very straightforward.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate
and
that.
I like that direct, like, let's get to the spreadsheets and let's look. And if I don't understand, she's, explaining. And she's...
Unlike that last guy that we talked about the football game last night.
Can you believe that?
I was very close to her last CA. I go in there all the time. How's it going? What's new? Anything I need to know?
I think I would do that too after like festivals meeting. I was always like, Jim, you got a minute? And
the door was always open.
Sometimes we wouldn't even talk about official stuff. We just
no.
How you doing, Jim?
It was good.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
Yeah,
she's doing a great job.
Yeah,
the city is in good hands.
We have a really good administration right now. Everybody is working together, and it's huge to have it working so cohesively together. So yay!
And I do see, despite some recent dust ups and this. Within the city, it does seem like the city council themselves is kind of unified and kind of getting along better than I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Some would argue that's good. Some would argue that's bad. But
we all disagree.
Oh, yeah.
But getting along is good.
The thing is, you have to be able to talk. You
Yeah.
don't have to agree.
Yep.
You have to be able to talk back and forth.
Right.
And all it takes is one or two council members to clam up and not say a word or be angry at the whole situation. And then you're not really getting we're there to represent the people of the city, not ourselves, not our personal opinions.
Right.
And that's important that people understand that we're supposed to make decisions that we feel are in the best interest of the people out there, the citizens, the entire community. So that's what we strive to do.
And I think maybe, I would hope most people understand the same whether it's the mayor or, the president or the governor, those are not the people that make the decisions. Those are the figureheads.
Right.
Exactly.
They do the bidding of the city council, essentially. And they do represent the city, but they're not, and they can make recommendations, but they are not the ones that actually make the decisions.
Right.
Yeah.
On any level of government, the person in charge is not supposed to be that person. So
no.
Yeah, and that's why these seats are so important.
They are.
So we had that conversation at the creative district.
Yes.
And so I've just been empowered. I'm like, okay, I know I'm kind of overwhelmed, but desperately want to go out and make sure we fill the seats.
Yeah.
Because I know I can have a conversation. I know I can, listen, and I don't have a fixed mindset. So it's like all these things to make sure that we continue to grow in a healthy way, that we continue to work together, that the city council is a healthy, diverse, well represented working
representation
council.
of the people.
And you bring up how important those seats are, and that goes for smaller level government positions. There's no small positions, but city council.
City council isn't a small position. It's not.
It's a really
It doesn't pay well, but
like the school board as well is very important.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's been really so important that to me that what all that I've seen the council, because it's changed too that I've been on, to see it now is just like yay. It's been a lot of work to get here. And there's been a lot of things we've had to take.
Right.
And I'm working. I know I am working. I can only really how many hours I'm putting in. I'm putting in a lot of hours.
Right.
Mostly research and talking to people. That's the research part. Part of the research. And it's like, you don't know what I'm doing, but this is what I'm doing.
Right.
And I come to represent. And so,
Well, and you're like I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good.
No,
Go ahead.
He'll talk all the time.
Well,
Jim,
like Jim brought up, with the mayor coming in and at a time during COVID, during an unprecedented time in American history,
right?
And being able to go through that, the city council as well. You guys,
yeah.
There's a lot of people that have been on the city council throughout that whole thing, and that's a unique experience for you guys to be on there. And I think coming through that, there is, like you said, you don't always agree, but you guys have this, I guess you call it trauma bonding.
Yeah.
That's a great way of putting a city councl.
Yeah.
Trauma
city
bonding.
council members, we have to. We're trauma bonding.
Yeah. And
That's
there's
a Chuckism there.
We're gonna have to trademark that. Write it down.
and like you say, you're not always going to get along, but at least you guys have developed the ability to argue and yell at each other civilly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And remain.
And that's the thing. And we do get we get because we care so much, we get a little heated or
Yeah.
like rah.
Yeah.
I know that we're running close on time here, but I wanted to make sure that we thank you guys.
Yes.
For all the hard work
thank
that
you.
you've done,
Thank
for all
you.
of the work that you're continuing to do, for creating the foundation for us to continue to grow. So thank you for everything.
Thank you very much
coming
for
here
having
today.
us. This is
Yeah.
great. We appreciate it.
No problem. Yeah, thank you guys. And before we get out of here, Wendy says good morning. Good morning, Wendy. And Cindy says thank you for working on good. It's good to know that you're working on the streaming.
Awesome.
And then there's
Great
a little
people.
There's a little bit of fan club going on about Cindy and Steve.
Yeah, being so cool.
going on
Oh, yeah,
in-
they are.
in the comment
They're
section.
just great people. I mean, can't say enough good about both of them.
I can't disagree. And Cindy and Steve, there are council positions open. I'm just saying.
Go for it.
I don't think there's a middle finger emoji that she can put.
You see Steve
but
right
she's
now.
probably looking for it.
Oh, it's so funny.
Hey, this has been fun. We really appreciate you having us.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
no problem.
Thank
No problem.
you.
You guys
This is
are.
important. Yeah.
Yeah, come on back and. Yeah, we talked about doing this in the future after city council meetings.
We
so
do
give us
it
an
after
update.
the first meeting of the month.
Yeah, let's do that.
That's
Yeah, so we'll have the city-
every Thursday from 8 to 9.
Yeah.
After the
perfect.
first city council meeting, we can kind of keep you up to date on what's happening.
And,
that'd be
and
perfect.
speaking of Thursdays, starting starting May 22nd, our new Thursday morning co-host is going to be Gina Greenwood.
Oh
Really?
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're going to be
Awesome.
we're going to be focusing most of the rest of the month on kids programs, things going on with the school, kids arts, where it's going to be kid-focused
Cool.
Thursdays. So we're going to focus on the youth in our community.
Awesome.
Right, and not
and-
just the little kids, the teens as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, and
So
we're
making
working.
sure that we bring the teenagers and give them opportunity to be in the radio station and learn.
Exactly. And working with the school district, and Jason Parents has extended his willingness to help with this, and we're going to get people from all the different departments in the school. Hopefully we'll get the lunch folks to bring us some food in the mornings.
Food
which
sounds
is so
good
important,
now.
right?
I know, right? We read that breakfast menu every day, and we're like, "Oh, that floating sandwich sounds kind of good." Or today it's the French toast sticks, I guess, is happening at the schools.
We were so hungry yesterday. We talked about dipping a rotating sandwich in yogurt.
Right? Pretty bad.
Oh,
Alrighty.
thanks, guys.
Oh, Mr. Colby Dollar says, "You're the man, Jim Caruso."
Oh,
And
man.
Aaron-
Oh, Colby, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Colby is an incredible representative of the city.
Well, this is Colby. Colby Dollar. That's Tim's
That's
son.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is Tim. He is. I mean,
Yeah.
he's doing public works. He is a fantastic guy. I mean, I loved working with him when I was with the city.
I've enjoyed my conversations with him,
Yeah.
definitely for sure. And Colby,
He's wise beyond his years.
Yeah, and his ears.
And his ears. Yeah.
And Aaron Alvarado
Yep.
is
Yes.
sending a trumpet flare happy sign. I don't know what else to call that.
Thank you, Aaron. Party time.
Aaron still is a great council member.
Yeah.
He's a great guy to sit
I love
next
Aaron.
to. Yeah,
I
great
sit
guy
next
sit
to him.
next to.
I've loved sitting next to Aaron all this time. I'm like, oh, good, Aaron's next to me. Now I'm in the middle. I'm like, oh.
He is a great guy.
I absolutely, Aaron, I adore you. I do. And sometimes I'm like, man, I don't know. Aaron might be too nice for the city council. But
No,
he's
he
hardening
does
up.
a great job.
He
does a great job.
And
he's getting meaner.
I'm just kidding, Aaron. You're doing a great job.
He is.
And I've really enjoyed here. He's really found his voice.
Yes.
And I really enjoy.
Yes, it's great
seeing
to see
yeah.
that. Yes.
And
Yes.
Aaron, you make us proud. So,
Yes.
So
he
thank you
does
for
a
doing what you do.
fantastic job.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, Cindy. Oh, I thought Cindy commented again. I thought she was going to say something else. She just said thanks all. She no comment to my
Thanks
running
for
for
listening.
council. All right, so yeah, thank you. That'll do us for today. Again, join us. They're going to come back the first Thursday of every month. After the first council meeting of every month. That's a mouthful.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming in.
Hey,
thank you
you
all for listening.
Appreciate it.
And you can join in right here tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. for Out of the Woods. 8 to 9 p.m. is Kelton a Twist. Then 9 to 11 is Acoustic Cafe. Tune in tomorrow morning for the KCHW Morning Show with myself, Craig, Paula, and we're going to have a special musical guest for you. You're going to have to tune in to find out who and listen to some great music right here on KCHW 102.7, your Northern Lights Public Radio. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.